Hi everyone, Meteorologist Ethan Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center here on this Saturday for our 19atSIX weekend weather show, available wherever you stream, including on YouTube and of course on Facebook, where you can ask questions, have comments on both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX here on this beautiful Saturday evening. Hopefully you all are having a great afternoon so far. So hi everyone, Meteorologist Ethan Emery here. And conditions have been really nice here across the tri-state. And then, as we told you yesterday, we were going to have some clouds move through, but now they're beginning to break away. Some encouraging news, as you can see here on our Newport Levee camera. Still some high, thin clouds out there, sure, but the sunshine is beginning to set, and we are looking at some breaks in those clouds. Right now, it's 76 degrees, and looking at our Fox 19 tower camera, you can see some of those breaks at the very top of the screen. So tonight, looking at clear skies, and of course your forecast first is coming up here right now. I just updated the 7-day forecast, so if you watched meteorologist Ashley Smith this morning, or at the 11 o'clock morning show, weather show that is a little bit different compared to what we showed you earlier. So overnight tonight, temperatures will dip down to around 61 degrees, mostly clear skies, a little bit warmer because of the fact that warmer air is moving in. We got a high of 81 for your Sunday, but big changes. Breezy winds for Sunday, of course, as we've been saying the last several days. Same goes for Monday. Monday also breezy and a slight chance, looking at mostly cloudy conditions. Tuesday, the coldest day. You've got a high of 56, and then going into Wednesday morning, we got some morning frost. Afternoon highs bumped down a little bit to 58. Back in the mid-60s by Thursday. Friday, we've got 71, and by next Saturday, so 1 week from today, a little bit warmer, but of course, compared to this Saturday, not quite as warm. A lot closer to normal, mind you, for that. So that is 7-day forecast. We will dive beyond the 7-day forecast here coming up, and then also take a look at those conditions here across the tri-state. Gusty winds, of course, for tomorrow and Monday, and then the big chill coming up early next week. So that is your forecast first. Try to give you that the first couple of minutes because, of course, it's a weekend. People are outside doing fun stuff. And I want to at least give you the forecast. That way I don't keep you waiting too much. Now, of course, if you want to see the 14-day forecast, you got to wait. I got a lot of stuff to cover before we even get to that point. But if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to chime in. A little out of breath right now because been running around. I had a good conversation with a friend of mine who works at our sister station down in Sarasota. My buddy Brendan, he's been without power now for the last several days, last few days I should say, since Wednesday. And he probably won't see power until Wednesday of next week. So it's a big deal with what Milton has caused and what they're dealing with down there. And he works in the TV industry, so he's obviously very stressed out because of all the coverage, because of the extensive work he has to do to provide information to the people down there, and having to move around a lot because he had to evacuate where he's at. But he's doing okay, so I had a good conversation, wanted to check in on him because he's a good friend of mine. Want to make sure that he's safe and everyone there at the station's also safe down that way in Sarasota. But good news is the tropics are relatively quiet, at least for the U.S., and here at home we're also pretty quiet, at least for the remainder of the day today. Right now, we'll take a look at radar and satellite, and as you can see, we've got those high, thin clouds moving in to the Ohio Valley region, and what we've got here is, this is the cold front we talked about yesterday. It's all the way up here towards Wisconsin and Iowa. Low pressure, well farther up to the north. You can see kind of the swirl in the clouds right up in here. That's where the low is, further up into Canada. But this cold front here is bringing some showers and even some thunderstorms towards Lake Michigan, over towards southern Michigan, and even into northern Ohio here this evening. But for us in the tri-state, we are going to remain dry as just the conditions are not favorable for much of the way of rain chances. Now, today was, again, a warm day. We had a high up to 79 degrees at CVG. In the morning lows, it was chilly, no doubt. We had those temperatures into the 40s for many of the tri-state. However, CVG did measure 50 degrees, which is not too far from normal. Average high or average morning low is 47. Average high is 68. So we officially were 11 degrees above normal for this time of the year here today. And tomorrow it does look to be a little warmer. So looking at our temperatures right now across the various airports here in the FOX19 now viewing area, we've got some places still in the mid to upper 70s. 79, the warmest spot right now, over towards Hamilton, 75 in Batesville, 76 in Middletown, 76 in Batavia, 73 down into Falmouth, and 76, of course, at CVG here this hour. The dew points, measure the moisture in the air, it's modest, into the mid-50s out there for us here this evening. The winds, I've noticed a little bit of a breeze out there here this afternoon, but it's not too bad. It's manageable. 5 to 15 miles per hour. Might see a gust close to 20 here this next hour or so before they do die down this evening. But again, the winds will be kind of a focus for the next couple of days, as the winds are going to bring in warm air tomorrow and then cold conditions on Monday. I'm going to call it cold. As much as I like the 50s, it's a big change from what we're experiencing today and what we'll experience tomorrow. Tonight, though, pretty warm. 61, our overnight low here in Cincinnati. Many locations will probably see morning lows in the mid to upper 50s, but I think with the warm air moving in, we are going to be looking at temperatures not dropping too much. And then tomorrow, I'll set the stage for temperatures to break into the low 80s. Maybe a few home thermometers close to the mid-80s. Can't rule that out, but I think most of us will stay in the lower 80s going into your Sunday. And if you're traveling tomorrow by chance, well, we are looking at those conditions tomorrow across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley region. Pretty warm. So go ahead and show you that map here in just a moment. Here it is. So we got showers, even some thunderstorms over towards Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Cleveland, 62 degrees tomorrow, 75 for Pittsburgh. Whereas, again, we're going to be in those lower 80s. Indianapolis, 73. Columbus, 78. Lexington, Kentucky at 82. Charleston, West Virginia at 83. And in the mid to upper 80s down into Nashville under partly to mostly cloudy skies. So that's your forecast for travel for tomorrow. And so let's take a look at those winds, because the wind gusts are something we need to highlight. We need to discuss this because, again, this evening, not a big deal. Might see a gust close to 20 before sunset. After sunset, winds will not be too wild. No, we could see a gust maybe close to 15 and 20 for your Sunday morning. But we go into Sunday afternoon, I think we'll see wind gusts tomorrow between 25 and 35 miles per hour. It's going to be a breezy day Sunday. Now, it's not a first alert weather day by any stretch. This is just going to be kind of your typical seasonal winds. In the fall and the spring, it's very usual to see a couple of days where we got these gusty winds because it's kind of the time of year where it's the battle of the air masses. You got much warmer air, you got much cooler air, and that energy has to go somewhere. It goes with the change in temperature. There's going to be some winds associated with it. So Sunday, gusts again between 25 and 35 miles per hour. And then Monday, kind of the same thing. Gusts close to 30 miles per hour. And then we head into Tuesday. Now, Tuesday won't be as gusty, but we are looking at maybe a breeze out there for your Tuesday, a chilly breeze at that, where gusts could get around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Now, if you're curious of rain chances, I really don't see any, at least for Sunday at this point. Conditions have gotten drier and drier with the new data coming in for your Sunday. And you'll see here in our forecast model. In fact, this model has done a pretty good job with this setup, at least for our Sunday forecast. So again, yes, Sunday looks dry, but we go into Sunday night into Monday morning. Can't rule out a stray shower with that front passing through. But Monday, not only will it be chillier with breezy conditions, but also notice this right here. This is some low-level clouds that are going to develop behind that front. So we've got low-level moisture just above the surface, so the clouds are going to be kind of trapped, if you will, with this development, with this colder air. And it's going to lead to mostly cloudy conditions for your Monday. And again, a slight chance of a shower for your Monday. So this is at lunchtime on Monday. Look at the temperatures. Low to mid 50s, still in the upper 40s in a few spots. So Monday, definitely going to be a taste of late fall here in the tri-state. And as I mentioned, I discussed the winds. I want to look at the feels-like temperatures, wind chill values. Let me find the map first. That's the challenge to showing you these things, is finding the graphic, finding the right graphic for it. All right, here we go. Now this might be a little laggy just because it's a lot of data filtered into it. So feels like temperatures tomorrow, nothing unusual. Let's go to Monday though. So Monday, well, it's not showing too much. Let's go ahead and advance into Tuesday, because Tuesday will be a little bit colder. Yeah. See, Tuesday at noon, wind chills will be in the low to mid 40s. So Tuesday's going to be a really chilly day. Monday should have something. I wonder if there's just a lag here. Yeah, okay, Monday kind of has it too. It's kind of the data's kind of laggy, but Monday at noon, wind chills will still be in the mid 40s for many spots. But again, Monday's highs will be in the mid to upper 50s. Tuesday, definitely a colder day in comparison. And then we're looking at frost for Wednesday morning and Thursday morning in particular. The reason why it's not really going to develop on Tuesday morning is because of the fact that we are going to be looking at some cloud cover still holding on Monday night into Tuesday. For frost, you need to have 3 ingredients. 1, clear skies. 2, light winds to, no wind. And then 3, temperatures at or lower than 37 degrees. Anything above 37, you're not going to see it. But we're going to have temperatures close to that Tuesday morning, but it's going to be kind of a breeze out there and then also some cloud cover. So you'll see it here on this forecast model. So this is Monday. Again, Monday afternoon, you could see a stray shower chance. We go into Tuesday, also that shower chance. In fact, Tuesday shower chance does look greater than that of Monday. But let me try to move this back to show you Tuesday. Yeah, so see here, Tuesday, 3, 4 a.m., you still got cloud cover here through much of the region, so I think that's going to limit any kind of frost potential for your Tuesday morning. That being said, a few rural valleys, can't rule it out for some of you folks, but the better frost potential is going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. The skies will be much clearer, get much colder, and then we go into Thursday morning, and right there, widespread clear conditions. Great indicator for the potential of frost considering how temperatures will be on Thursday. And then going to the end of the work week, things will get warmer. It's going to stay dry. But we go into next weekend, and we are looking at the potential for some rain chances. And we'll dive into that in your 14-day forecast, your exclusive 14-day forecast here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and take a pause real quick, look at our Facebook questions and comments, and then we will go ahead and continue. I was going to do the closer camera over here, but my face does not have makeup on it, admittedly, so let's not do that. I already don't look great for TV, so don't want to add to that. Hey, we've got a couple comments here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. Michael, thumbs up. Thumbs up to you. Susan says, hi, Ethan. And also adds that we need rain. The dust in the air from the combining is terrible. Yeah, harvest season, you're always seeing an increase of dust, and allergies could get flared up. And we do have high pollen counts for both the mold spore count and as well as the weed pollen count. So definitely going to be something that we need to see some rain. I think Monday and Tuesday might be our best chances of rain, at least until next weekend. But unfortunately, tomorrow and Monday, the winds are not going to help in that cause, Susan. Susan also adds, I'll be working outside all day Monday and Tuesday to enjoy the weather. Make sure you're bundled up. It's going to be pretty chilly, both Monday and Tuesday. Jeff asks, where's the snow? Well, let's go back to the forecast model, because it might show some snow. Let's see here. It should, emphasis on should, show some snow. I wonder if if the, let me go ahead and edit this real quick because I think this is not going to show precip type. Let me double check real quick. Nope. Okay. I thought that was the case. All right. Let's make sure it's the right color. All right. Yep. So if you want snow, Jeff, you got to go all the way up to the north of Vermont and towards the Quebec area where they could be looking at the potential for some snow. Even some rain-snow mix, northern New York into New Hampshire, higher elevations, even in the higher elevations of West Virginia. If you're going towards Bluefield, Oak Hill, you might see a little bit of a rain-snow mix there perhaps going into Tuesday. Here we go. Yeah, so Monday night, Tuesday morning, and then maybe Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Yeah, see a little bit of sliver of blue here, a little bit of sliver of blue up here. So higher elevations, Jeff, if you want to see the snow, it's not anywhere close to here. Charles, early fall about to creep up this week. Yeah, a good taste of fall, no doubt. Something I feel like we've needed because it's been pretty warm over the last several days. Nick asks, what makes a rain system, a cyclone system, just spin around in circles like that? Is there a meteorology name for this type of rain system? It's just an area of low pressure. It's a cyclone. It's what we call a mid-latitude cyclone because we're in the mid-latitudes of the planet. And what creates the spin, Nick, is a couple of things. You have what's called the pressure gradient force, and you have what's called Coriolis force. And the Coriolis force is the overall forcing of how the Earth is rotating on its axis. So that's why you see storms move from west to east in the mid-latitudes, and even all the way to the close to the equator. And the Coriolis force can drive those systems moving in that direction. The pressure gradient force, different types of pressure. Anytime you have precipitation, anytime you have any kind of forcing, it's going to drive itself towards the area of lower pressure. So it's going to allow for this spin motion to develop. There's also a lot of different things that go into this, like you got vorticity, you've got temperature, thermal winds, all those different things. But I would say, to keep it simple, what allows a mid-latitude cyclone like this to have the shape and motion that it has is pressure gradient force and Coriolis force. So meteorology 101 there for you. But pressure gradient force is just because of the different pressures you have between the surface and the tropopause, which is the upper level of the initial layer of the atmosphere. But those are the two biggest mechanisms that kind of create the structure. There's a lot of other factors with it, but I'm going to keep it simple for this. But thanks for asking, Nick. Garnett. I left my phone downstairs. I was going to check my Facebook page, but unfortunately I left my phone downstairs. I will check that after this, and I'll answer those questions there. Garnett says, good evening, Ethan, and all others who are watching. Jeff also adds he wanted to ride, we will go, meaning areas where there's snow. Fortunately, I have some family in West Virginia, so I have connections to go down that way. Upper state of New York, I got a couple friends who live towards the Albany and Buffalo area, so might be able to have some connections up there for a place to stay if I ever wanted to go up that direction, but don't get time off very often, so we'll have to plan it out for next year maybe. But yeah, case in point, we're looking pretty quiet here. Rain chance wise, aside from Monday and Tuesday in the 7-day forecast, But the big talking point is going to be the gusty winds and the big temperature change on Sunday and Monday. So we'll go ahead and do that now here on 19atSIX. So here's 7-day. We've got a morning low tomorrow of 61 degrees, an afternoon high of 81, breezy winds, of course, gusts could get as high as 35 miles per hour for your Sunday. Now the front's going to pass through Sunday evening. A secondary front kind of moves through Sunday night into Monday morning, and that's going to kind of add that additional just push of colder air here into the region. And we've got Monday also a breezy day. Gusts on Monday could get as high as 30 miles per hour. It's going to feel chilly. I'm just warning you now, because, you know, if you watch FOX19, you trust the First Alert weather team. You can't say that you didn't see it coming. We always try to let you know days in advance with his forecast conditions. And so if you walk outside Monday or Tuesday and are surprised at how cold it is, well, you didn't watch us. Or if you're watching us now and you are surprised, you either forgot or it's just going to be that much of a shock with the temperatures, no doubt, because a Tuesday morning, we got morning lows in the low 40s, afternoon highs just in the mid 50s. And then, reminder too, we're in the time of year where frost begins to come up in the forecast. And if you got outdoor plants, I do. I'm going to probably do some moving around my plants and stuff. Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, we've got frost, especially I think Thursday morning is going to be the best potential for widespread frost. Wednesday morning, also some frost. I think there's going to be a little bit of limitations between cloud cover, maybe a little bit of a gust, maybe at 10 miles an hour, but I think frost potential there very likely for both Wednesday and Thursday. Friday morning could also see some frost in the tri-state, and then we're warming back up there to 71. And then by next weekend, Saturday morning, 44, afternoon high of 73. And that is your 7-day forecast. Let's look beyond the 7-day forecast. And what we've got here is Sunday, October 20th, morning low of 47, afternoon high of 72. And then I'll admit that the following week, the forecast is not, I don't have a great amount of confidence in this. Why? Well, because that every day there is a chance of rain. However, the placement of the systems, it's all over the place from model to model. But I do think that we get closer towards October 24th, October 25th, the weekend of the 26th. We are looking at better opportunities of rain beginning to show up in the forecast models. And, fun fact, that Saturday is my birthday. I'll be turning 30. I'll be old. But we are looking at high temperatures to be just above normal from the 20th through the 26th, with highs in the mid to upper 60s and low 70s, and then lows in the upper 40s and the low 50s. And let's show you a plot to kind of compare that with what is normal. We call it your 7-day plus. And of course, our Sunday is going to be very warm, well above normal, both the morning and the afternoon highs. But we go into much of the work week this week, and it is below normal for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday morning, it's still below normal, but Friday afternoon, we do break above that normal line. And then we're above normal for both the morning lows and the afternoon highs for next weekend, and then all the following week. And then there are those question marks right around October 26th, going into the end of the month of October, Halloween week, and then the early start of November, because there are some signals that we are looking at a pretty big pattern shift right around end of October, early November, which isn't unusual. Right around this time, right around that time of the year, late October, early November, you typically see, a system that might bring in the snow potential. It might bring in a huge drop in temperatures, but it stays dry. This far out, of course, not much I can tell you, because there's a lot of variables that need to be known to kind of put together the forecast a little bit better. But it does look like we are tracking cooler conditions by early November. And when I say cooler, I mean a little bit below normal with cooler. But aside from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures do look to be at or above normal for mid to late October here in the tri-state. So take a look at some more comments and questions on Facebook. Again, I forgot my phone. It's downstairs in the studio. Sometimes it's nice to forget your phone every once in a while, right? But I do want to answer your comments or questions. So if you have a bearing question, you go to the FOX19 Facebook page. If not, I'll go and check them after this and try to answer any questions you might have. But yeah, we've got gusty winds for both Sunday and Monday, and then chilly for the week ahead. No additional comments. Okay, well, it's been about 30 minutes now, roughly. But one thing I'll add, just to add conversation a little bit longer. Two things. One, hopefully I got to see the Northern Lights on Thursday night. I got some beautiful photos I took. I went out to Fayetteville. Fayetteville, a very beautiful area, and not too far distance-wise from my apartment in Milford, where I could drive there, take some photos, and then come back to get ready for Friday morning show. But hopefully you were able to do something with the Northern Lights, take some photos, go out and at least view it, take video, what have you, because I do not see any chances for the next few days at least. And when it comes to Northern Lights, you only know in a short notice, meaning within 3 or 4 days. But this year we've seen quite a bit of Northern Lights, and that's because we're at a solar cycle peak. Every 11 years there are sunspots that peak and then they kind of drop down. It's a normal phenomena, but around those peaks of the sunspots in the solar cycle, you get kind of these additional coronal mass ejections or solar flares that can allow us to see the Northern Lights. And this year we were gifted with a few opportunities to see the Northern Lights here in the tri-state. But that being said, I think I'm a little less optimistic to see it for the remainder of the year. Now, there could be a chance, but right now there's no dates. There's nothing I could tell you about any kind of opportunity to see the Northern Lights. But people have also been asking me, this seems really unusual. We've seen them so much. No, actually, it happened a lot more, actually, in the early thousands going into the 2010s during those peaks of those solar cycles, or of that solar cycle crest, if you will. Wish I had a map to show you, or a graph, rather, because the Space Weather Prediction Center has a great graph, a line graph that kind of represents the solar cycle. The reason why we've seen so many photos of it is because more people have their phones. And I would show my phone right now, but I forgot it downstairs. But again, 2010s, 2000s, there were actually more sunspots, which means more opportunities for the Northern Lights. And maybe you can ask your, people who might have experienced them in the early thousands or 2010s. Maybe they just didn't have a photo or a camera that could take good photos of the Northern Lights, compared to today where everyone has a phone and they have their night mode on. And you can tell this photo was taken with night mode. No offense to the person who took it, because obviously you only have a short amount of time you can take a photo like this. But on a cell phone camera, like an iPhone, whenever you take a night mode camera or a photo of something like this, it has a delay because it's trying to adjust with the lighting. And notice how every star looks like there's a duplicate. And it's because it was on night mode and their phone was moving. So it's a little blurry to capture that. I'll admit my photos were through my phone, and yes, they also look like that. In fact, I think Steve still has this graphic in here. Yep. This one, I think I had a steady hand with it, though. Yeah, I was actually steady with that one. But I know I have a couple that did not look as good. It's a little blurry. You kind of see over towards where the power line is. So, yeah, so if you're asking about northern lights, we're not going to see them. The next 3 days, there's nothing, and there's been no additional sightings of CME, or coronal mass ejection, for a geomagnetic storm that would allow for the potential of seeing a northern light. So, hate to get your hopes up, but I don't see that happening. So hopefully you're able to view it. If not, I'm sorry. There's a lot of photos online to view it. Also want to give you an update on La Nina. The last time we discussed this, or last time I discussed this, about a month ago, there was a 71% chance of La Nina happening. It's gone down to 60%. So it's not going to be as strong of a La Nina as earlier predicted. In fact, Chief Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer pointed this out a while back. Brilliant, super brilliant guy. He knows his climate science extremely well. Very privileged to be able to work with someone like him. But the La Nina here, if you're curious as to what it is, it influences our forecast pattern directly. Need some energy because we're going to go on late tonight. But what it is for La Nina is you have the trade winds coming off of South America. That's going to allow for pushing the cooler water to the surface in the eastern Pacific, and that cooler water directly affects the positions of the Pacific jet and the polar jet. And what it normally means for us here in the tri-state is it generally means wetter than normal conditions. I still think that is the case for this winter, but it's going to be a little bit weaker. So the data I've been analyzing actually has this a little further north. So we're still in the wetter than normal precipitation for this winter, but what that indicates is that we're looking at above normal temperatures. So as I alluded to last month talking about this, I think we're going to see more of a soggy winter than anything else. Meaning that you step outside, the ground's really soft and mushy because we haven't had as much freezing nights as you'd like to see. But yeah, temperatures look to be generally near or above normal. Again, the La Nina is rather weaker compared to what you'd like to see if you want snow. And don't get me wrong, we're going to have opportunities of snow, but this does not look like a big gift of snow, big snows. This does not look to be the case for that. So sorry, Jeff, if you're still watching. So again, La Nina is still on track, but it's not looking to be as strong as it previously was. And I do think that we begin to see that pattern shift, especially in November, when we're going to see a bit more rain opportunities, and obviously with the cooler air, it's going to be kind of those cloudy, gray, rainy days. I'm on board with that. Wow, I talked all that time and there's no other comments on Facebook. Either that or my Facebook's broken. It's not. Y'all are bored of me. It's also Saturday, so I completely understand. So with that being said, we've been on here for more than 30 minutes. I was a few minutes late. And I think that's a wrap. So, that being said, thank you all so much for joining us here on this Saturday edition of 19 at 6. Programming note, we will be going on late tonight. It's after the football game. I believe it is Iowa State and West Virginia, the coal out for West Virginia. They're wearing their cool black uniforms representing the coal miners and the history of that in West Virginia. I'll be rooting for them for a couple of reasons. A, the uniforms look really cool. B, my sister lives down in West Virginia. Her brother-in-law, even though they went to Marshall, he's a huge West Virginia University fan. And then Ashley Smith and the First Alert Weather Team is also a West Virginia fan, so I'll be rooting for him for that. Even though I have a few friends who also went to Iowa State. Good luck. It'll be a fun game. But it'll be on Fox 19. And then once that game is over, we'll be on. It'll be a shorter newscast. I think we're slated to go on at 11:30, though that could be a little bit later. And then tomorrow, we'll also be going on late. I think the estimated time we'll be going on is at 11 o'clock. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's baseball, if I'm not mistaken, because we are in the playoffs of baseball. But we will still be here on 19atSIX on Sunday, giving you more updates. And by tomorrow, I have a lot more graphics to show you. Normally, I build them on Thursday, but some schedule inconsistency kind of thrown around. Didn't get a chance to do all the graphics I'd like to do. But I will have those done tonight. I'll have a little bit of extra time to build those. And then we'll go all out with graphics tomorrow. Explainers, events. Let me know what you want for graphics. I can try to develop it for you. But we'll do that tomorrow on 19atSIX. If you're up for it, we'll see you tonight after the game. If not, we'll see you tomorrow right here on 19atSIX, wherever you stream. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a great and safe Saturday evening.